Hey, welcome guys. In this video I'm doing a review of the Corsair H2100 wireless gaming headset. Now this is a 7.1 certified gaming headset, although I have to say that this sounds more like 2 receivers only, and it is wireless indeed. As you can see, here's a receiver on the left, that USB stick. Now it's advertised as having a 40-foot range, but I have to say it's closer to 30 feet. So if there's not enough range that you're getting, you can take the USB stick and plug it into its extension wire. Adds about an additional 5.5 feet in that wire, so if you do need that extra range, you can get it there. Then of course there is a charging wire, which I'll go into more in a little depth later on. And this wire is measuring at also 5.5 feet, which is pretty respectable. Now it is costing about $100 to $150 depending on where you live, and unfortunately there's no traveler's pouch included. And I do have to say it's rather sturdy. It's a well-constructed build and design. Don't worry about it breaking too easily. In terms of flexibility, it does a fantastic job on the headband, and also over to the ear cups themselves. They are over the ear type, and they do have excellent rotation, so it doesn't matter on your head size, whether it be small or big, you're going to get some great flexibility and adjustment to your head size and ears. They do also flex into the inside, so you can put on your collar for resting, which I'll get into shortly. Now the padding at the top isn't too thick, but it's a very comfortable material, so even if you have no hair, it won't bother you at all. You know, the ear cups themselves are rather thick and large, and again, I did mention that this is an over-the-ear type, so basically your ears fit into the cups, makes it very comfortable. The cushioning themselves are very soft and very thick padding, which is great, which basically I've noticed from my experience is that my ears do not get hot. That's with even continuous gameplay non-stop over a few hours. Now over onto the left side of the ear cup, that's where majority of things are pretty much happening. You have the microphone, and you have the volume rocker, which is kind of a swivel. It has kind of some notches to it, so you can feel it. It changes the Windows volume in increments of 4, on Windows 10 anyway. You also have the port for charging, and they do have that large single button, which is also the power button. Now when it's looking for the receiver signal, you'll notice that it illuminates blue rather quickly, but once it does have the receiver signal, it pulses at a fraction of a second every 5 seconds, more or less, roughly. Now there's no custom additional lighting, all you have is a single blue lighting effect. The combination of the great padding and the great flexibility in conjunction with the flexible arms, which can extend a bit further down if needed, provides a comfortable feel for any size head that you may have. Now do notice that these are rather large, especially noticeable when it's on my head, but that's kind of expected from a wireless gaming headset. I mean, that's pretty much the norm in the industry. Now they're not the most attractive, I did mention that earlier, but that's because they don't have any custom RGB lighting. But I mean, it's a little hard to complain, especially considering at this price point it's about $100 to $150 for a wireless gaming headset, which is a lot cheaper than the competition, so we'll get past that. Now on the left cup, you'll notice that that's where the microphone is located, as I mentioned earlier. And I have to mention that because of the large power button and the large volume control, they also both have unique textures, so reaching over and pressing them and using them is very easy. It's just kind of like becomes second nature eventually. The microphone turns on when it's brought about halfway down, which doesn't provide a lot of flexibility, which is a little worrying at first, but I noticed that it picks up the audio pretty nicely, so it's not a major concern. The headsets do kind of get annoying if you're wearing glasses when you first put them on, because if you have to adjust your glasses because they're so tight, it's a little annoying. They're not uncomfortable, it's just annoying to shift your glasses. Now resting on the collar, the headphones do kind of flex in on your collar, but the microphone kind of pokes you in the neck and it's kind of annoying. It doesn't hurt, but it's just annoying. This is especially annoying considering that if I want to put the microphone up in case I want to listen to audio through my speakers, let's say for example I'm listening for the doorbell to ring, instead of listening to the audio through my headset and I want to listen to the speakers, well, it's not very comfortable, so it's kind of an annoyance, because sometimes I do prefer to game in this method. Just shy of the placement of the power button and volume rocker is where your micro USB wire is plugged in, and you can recharge the battery and use the headset at the same time, and depending on the battery status, it'll emit and pulse a different color light. In this situation it's orange because it still needs some charging, and it's advertised as holding a 10-hour battery life, which I have to say is pretty accurate. One of the things that shocked me about these headsets is how good they are at playing music. Let's say if I listen to some rap with some heavy bass, it doesn't matter if I increase the bass, they sound great still, but the mids and highs are not sacrificed. Unlike some other certain headphones which are designed strictly for listening to music and almost double the price, I'm not getting as good sound quality as I am with these headsets. I'm in shock at how good they are. When it comes to listening to, TV shows or sports, if you're streaming on a computer, they provide a pretty good experience, and listening to action movies is no exception as well. You're getting some great sound. Now, they are advertised as being 7.1 Dolby Digital, but I think that's more of them being digitized. It's kind of virtualizing the Dolby Digital 7.1 effect, However, I'm noticing that it's not that great in performance of giving a surround sound effect, but the sound output is good nonetheless. And yes, even more importantly, when it comes to playing action video games like shooters or action RPGs, the sound output on the headphones sound spectacular. Again, unfortunately, it's not real 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound, but it tries to mimic it. It doesn't do a great job, but the sound is still superb.
And what you guys are hearing right now is actually the microphone with the Corsair headset, and I do have to apologize if you notice any type of hissing noise. That's because if I put my microphone levels quite high, it doesn't seem to play too well with Windows 10. It's much more of a Windows 10 issue than it is with Windows 7. Regardless of that, what you guys are seeing right now is currently the software for the headset. It's very simplistic, but it gets the job done fantastically. You basically have controls for your volume, for basically sound output to your ears, microphone level output to the microphone itself, obviously, and of course you do have equalizer controls, which you can really control levels like bass, mids, highs, and you're getting some nice crisp detail if your audio source is great. There's also the ability to turn on virtual Dolby surround sound effect, which controls 7.1, 5.1, and 2.0 surround sound. However, I noticed that regardless of which one you choose here, yes, even 2.0, as long as Dolby effect is on, you seem to get some sort of like echoing effect. I actually personally recommend that you leave it off. I tend to get better noise playback through the headset itself. The only thing, as mentioned earlier, there's no RGB custom lighting on the headset itself, so there's no controls for that in the software, obviously. Generally though, the software does a very simple but effective job.
So the H2100s are not exactly the best looking gaming headsets because they're, well, fairly large, but considering that, most gaming headsets are large, it's pretty hard to complain about that. It's more that, there's no custom lighting, there's no nice bright colors on it. But in terms of the custom lighting, when you want to get that in a headset, especially wireless ones, you're looking at ones that are about $250 or more. So more than double in price almost. The other thing is that the comfort is great. My ears do not get hot after extensive hours of gameplay. The only annoyance is that if you wear glasses like me, you put the headphones on, sometimes you'll kind of just touch your glasses and you'll want to shift them back. But the headsets are so tight that it's kind of annoying to really fix it because it's just so tight. They're not uncomfortable with glasses, don't get me wrong, it's just annoying to fix your glasses if you have to. The microphone performance is pretty good. The demonstration that I gave you was a little bit on the hissy noise side of things. That's because Windows 10 is awful at microphone control. Basically put, I would have to say this is probably the best bang for buck headsets of gaming that you can get that are wireless right now. So be sure to check out the headsets, great set. Be sure to check out my Facebook, Google+, Twitter links in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.